I married the good man. That's what everyone said. My mother said it at my wedding. My friends said it at every anniversary. Every woman in my church said it whenever they saw us together. You married the good man, Ruth. You're so lucky. I was lucky. I had the good man, Richard. Kind, honest, hard-working, faithful. The kind of man who comes home when he says he'll come home. The kind of man who never raises his voice. The kind of man who holds your hand at funerals and makes you soup when you're sick and shows up every single day without being asked. I had the good man, and I kept my heart for the bad one. I'm 91 years old. Richard has been dead for 7 years, and I need to confess something that I've never said out loud, because saying it out loud makes it real, and real means I have to feel the full weight of what I did to a man who deserved so much better than me. His name was Michael, the bad one. I loved him before I married Richard. I loved him during my marriage to Richard. And God help me, I loved him after Richard died, until Michael died too, and I was left here alone with nothing but the truth and the shame and the empty chair where the good man used to sit. Let me tell you about Michael so you understand why I call him the bad one. Michael was charming, the kind of charming that makes you forget your own name. He walked into a room and the room changed. Everyone looked. Everyone wanted to be near him. He was magnetic, electric, dangerous in a way that felt exciting when I was young. He was also incapable of love, not unwilling, incapable. Michael loved the chase, the conquest, the moment of winning someone over, but the having, the staying, the showing up day after day, Michael couldn't do that, didn't want to do that, left every woman he was ever with as soon as the excitement faded. He left me in 1958. I was 23. We'd been together 2 years. I thought we were going to get married. He thought we were going to end. He was right. I was destroyed. The kind of destroyed where you can't eat, can't sleep, can't see the point of anything. For 6 months, I was a ghost of myself. And then Richard came. Richard was everything Michael wasn't. Steady where Michael was chaotic. Quiet where Michael was loud. Present where Michael was always leaving. Richard looked at me like I was the only woman in the world, not because he was charming, because he meant it. I married Richard in 1959, 1 year after Michael left me. I married him because I was tired of hurting, because he was safe, because my mother said he was the good man and good men don't leave. I married him because I wanted to stop being destroyed. I didn't marry him because I loved him. I said the words, I do. I said them in a church in front of God and my family and Richard's hopeful eyes. but I didn't mean them. Not fully, not with my whole heart. My whole heart was still with Michael, still in 1958, still waiting for a man who was never coming back. Richard deserved a wife who loved him completely. He got a wife who loved him partially, who gave him the safe parts, the practical parts, the parts that were left over after Michael took the fire. For 54 years, I was Richard's wife. I cooked his meals, I raised his children, I slept in his bed. I said I love you when he said it first. I performed marriage like an actress performs a role, convincingly enough to fool everyone. Everyone except maybe Richard. He knew. He must have known. There were moments when he'd look at me and I'd see it, a flicker of doubt, a question he'd never ask because he was afraid of the answer. Sometimes he'd say, "Do you ever regret marrying me?" And I'd say, "Of course not. Of course not." The lie so smooth, so practiced, so automatic. He'd nod and he'd smile, and the doubt would go back into hiding. But it was always there. I put it there. Every time I flinched when he touched me, because for 1 second I thought of Michael's hands. Every time I stared out the window, thinking of another life. Every time I was present in body and absent in everything else. Michael came back into my life in 1972, 14 years after he left. He showed up at a restaurant where I was having lunch with a friend. Same smile, same electricity, same chaos. He said he'd thought about me all these years. He said leaving me was his biggest mistake. He said he wanted another chance. I told him I was married. I told him I had children. I told him to stay away. And then I met him for coffee the next week, and the week after, and for the next 30 years. I never touched him. I need you to understand that. I never crossed the physical line. I stayed faithful to Richard in body, but my heart was at that coffee shop. My heart was across the table from a man who had destroyed me once and was doing it again, slowly. My heart was everywhere except home. Richard got the shell. Michael got the inside. Michael died 11 years ago, alone, unmarried, the way men like him die. He'd charmed his way through 50 women in 50 years, and not one of them stayed. Not one of them was there when his heart stopped. And I cried for him, in my bathroom, quietly, so Richard wouldn't hear. I cried for the bad man, the man who left me, the man who couldn't love, the man who got the best parts of me that should have gone to my husband. Richard died 4 years after Michael. And here's the thing that breaks me. Richard's last words to me were, "Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for choosing me." He thought I chose him. He thought I picked him. He thought 54 years of marriage meant I wanted him. He died grateful. He died thinking he was lucky to have me. He wasn't lucky to have me. He was burdened by me. He was married to a woman who gave him half a heart while keeping the other half in a coffee shop with a man who didn't deserve it. I sit at this table now, alone, Richard's cardigan on my shoulders, his chair empty across from me. And I think about all the dinners we had here, all the conversations, all the moments when he was fully present and I was partially gone. He deserved a woman who was fully there. He got me. The woman who married the good man and kept her heart for the bad one. The woman who had everything and wanted something else. The woman who woke up at 91 and realized she'd wasted her life loving someone who couldn't love her back, while ignoring someone who loved her more than breath. If you have a good man, a good woman, someone who shows up, someone who stays, someone who is steady and present and there. And if somewhere in your heart there is a Michael, a memory of someone who made you feel fire, someone who left, someone who comes back just enough to keep the flame alive, let them go. Not for your partner's sake, for yours. The fire is not love. The fire is destruction dressed up as passion. The fire is chaos pretending to be excitement. The fire will burn your whole life down and leave you with nothing but ashes and regret. The good one is love. The steady one is love. The showing up every day one is love. I know it doesn't feel like fire. I know it feels like warmth. But warmth is what keeps you alive. Fire is what burns you. I chose fire. I burned everything. Richard's chair is empty now. The coffee shop is closed. Michael is in the ground. And I am here, alone, in a cardigan that smells less and less like him every year, holding a ring that means promises I didn't keep, talking to a camera about mistakes I can never undo. Choose the good one, the one who's there, the one who shows up. Let the bad one go. Before you're 91, in an empty dining room, apologizing to a chair. The good one is right there. Love them. Please. Before they're gone. Before thank you for choosing me becomes the last thing they ever say. Before you realize too late that you never really chose them at all. Choose them now, today, with your whole heart, not the leftovers, everything. Give them everything. While they're still here, to receive it.